great mayor from Cincinnati, my good friend Aftab Purval. He was wonderful and we learned a lot. However, as I started thinking about this year's luncheon, I thought more about the mission of Leadership Louisville and about the tremendous need to engage more leaders across our city in every aspect of our community's life. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that the essence of leadership is not really about anyone's title, whether it's mayor or coach or anything else. The essence of leadership is found within every person. Each of us has the potential to lead. Leadership is about trust. It's about transparency. It's about integrity. It's about accountability. It's about making difficult decisions and so much more. It is the honor of my lifetime to serve as your mayor of Louisville. It's also the responsibility of my lifetime to deliver phenomenal public services, safety, growth, and opportunity for every Louisvillian in every part of our city. And to do that, I work to improve my leadership skills every single day. I do that by learning from others, from experiences I've had, from mistakes I've made, and from listening, a lot of listening. My administration and I have huge goals to transform our city, to make Louisville safer, stronger, and healthier. And we're taking big steps towards addressing our big challenges, like improving public safety, reducing gun violence, building more affordable housing, reducing homelessness, creating good-paying jobs, revitalizing downtown, making early childhood learning a reality for every 3- and 4-year-old, and right now we are working every day to attract the Sundance Film Festival to relocate to our amazing and diverse city. We will achieve these goals. We will achieve these goals together with leadership, with my leadership, and more importantly, your leadership, and the leadership of so many others. Leadership from my colleagues, some of whom are here today on Metro Council, and other colleagues of mine from my administration. Exemplary leadership from our state leaders, including Governor Beshear, who's with us here today, Senate President Stivers, Speaker Osborne, and so many others who are great partners with us at the state. Federal leaders like Congressman McGarvey and Senator McConnell and Senator Paul. We also need strong leadership from our corporate and nonprofit communities, innovative leadership from our educational institutions, and more. We will achieve all of these goals together in partnership because of all of our collective leadership, not because of any one of our individual titles, but because so many leaders with so many different titles, with so many different strengths, each with our own different passion across our entire city, are each working in our own way towards these important collective goals. People, it's people like us here today who know that leadership is not about posting your ideas online. It's not about complaining from the sidelines. Leadership is about engaging. Leadership is proven through action. Leadership is about being in the game. And that's why this year's Leadership Louisville Luncheon is so different. And that's why I'm so excited, because we are all about to learn so much about leadership from two incredible leaders. Yes, they both have very important titles in our state, but they are both proven and successful leaders who just are new to these particular positions in our state. And the leadership of these two individuals is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about the future of our city and the future of our state. Because we need new leaders in important positions who are committed to working in partnership towards giant goals. Leaders who are in the game. And so whatever your job or whatever your title might be, we need each one of you in the game. We need everyone in the game for the future of Louisville and for the future of Kentucky. And I know that the two leaders with us here today are certainly in the game. And I hope they win a lot of games also. So Louisville, are you ready to keep going? Are you ready to be in the game? Louisville, are you ready to meet two amazing new leaders to our city and state? Cats fans, are you ready? Cards fans, are you ready? All right, let's go. Leadership Louisville, let's get ready to learn. First, coming to us from Lexington, he's been head basketball coach for 9 years, most recently at BYU. His teams have won 20 games in 6 of the past 7 seasons. He played 6 years in the NBA. He played college basketball at UK, where he also earned a degree in English. And he helped the Wildcats win the 1996 National Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the University of Kentucky men's basketball coach, Mark Pope. And now, from here in Louisville, he's had 12 seasons as a head coach, most recently at the College of Charleston. His teams have won 68% of their games. He played college basketball at Xavier University, where he graduated cum laude. And Jay Billis of ESPN said this man is the most passionate and energetic coach I've ever known. Ladies and gentlemen, Cards and Cats fans alike, please join me in welcoming the new head coach of the University of Louisville Cardinals, Pat Kelsey.
I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your service. Everybody in this room, thank you for your service. I think public servants are more needed now than ever, and so incredibly grateful. And I love this state. It's home to me. I'm so grateful to be back. And so with that said, the most surprising thing is there wasn't much that surprised me about my first week. I love the University of Kentucky. It's in my heart. There's more familiar faces there than there are non-familiar faces. I have a feel for this state. It changed me forever, and I love it so much. Probably the thing that was most surprising to me, if there was anything, was that 27,000 people showed up for a coach's press conference, which is just, it's yes, you did. Which is why we're here.
That's right.
Which is why we're here with Pat and the mayor, because sports, and especially sports in Kentucky, have a chance to bring us together to actually make this state become everything that it's supposed to become. And so I wasn't really surprised by much, but I'm just really, really grateful to be here. You know, people talk about me as an offensive-minded coach because we shoot a lot and score a lot of points and run a lot and do a lot of things. And I think Big Blue Nation was a little surprised when, for my first marquee signee of the portal season, I signed the best defensive point guard in the country, right? And but what we saw in him as we try to evaluate as people, like in his heart, he is a winner's winner. He is a winner, and that's proven to bear itself out as he's taken our team in his arms. I could tell you anecdote after anecdote of really personal ways where he's reached out to each of the guys on our team to lift them up. And so, you know, that's it. This is about people. It's about finding the right people that will share your vision, that are kind of going to fit your culture, that makes all the difference.
Current job like my next one. Somebody gave me advice about that one time. And it's when I was at Winthrop University at a really lower level of Division I. And I just said every day, like, crush it where you're at, right? That's going to be my Louisville, right? And then when I stopped looking at what's out there and what's up there, was the best version of myself right there. And then you know what happened? I started being more successful, and I was more fulfilled, and I was happier. And then all of a sudden, this opportunity occurs, and that opportunity, and then I'm sitting here with you guys. Pretty darn cool. In front of 1,400.
We're glad that you are. Well, Coach Pope, let me ask you something specifically to you. And I'm not sure that everyone, the diehard UK fans probably know this, but I don't think that everybody necessarily knows that following your NBA career, you were a student at Columbia University's medical school. So, yeah, it's very impressive. So what led you?
PNS groupies in the house here somewhere? It's not PNS anymore, actually, believe it or not. Anyway, keep going.
But before you graduated from an Ivy League medical school, you left early to become director of basketball operations at the University of Georgia, where I understood some of your responsibilities included folding laundry. So what is the lesson? Why did you do that? What is the lesson there that maybe other people, we have a lot of young folks here today, you heard about the 2025 Leadership Louisville class that's just getting started out, a lot of people thinking about their long-term career and their leadership opportunities. Are there any lessons from that decision you make that all of us can take?
Yeah, who has a napkin? Bring that up here. I'm going to show you how to fold that exactly perfectly, by the way. I do. I mean, my gosh, guys, we could talk for hours on this. So a couple. I'll go really briefly. So one, talking about failure, like you can easily write my career like it's just been one failure mounted on top of the next, on top of the next, on top of the next. I'm really proud of that. And our team and our staff, we redefine failure. We actually don't talk about failure. We redefine failure as the rocket ship to progress, because that's what it is if you treat it right. It's an incredible teacher. It makes you humble and reevaluate and find and drive. And at the end of the day, what we're worried about, and this would be lesson number 2 that I'd say for the young leaders in here, and this is, I'm saying it a different way than Pat did, but essentially I'm saying the same thing. As a leader and as someone who's chasing success, however you define that in your life, I would encourage you to be way more interested in trajectory than in level. I'm going to say it again because I think it's really important. You're going to hunt for a new job, a new position, a new identity, a new path. I would say chase trajectory way more than position level. Okay? And this is what I mean by that. When I left Columbia, first of all, it was one of the many times in my life when everyone was like, "You've lost your mind," okay? When I left Columbia to come, and just fact check, I wasn't the director of operations. I was the assistant to the director of operations.
I promoted you.
I couldn't even direct anything. I had to assist in the directions of the folding of the towels.
Okay.
So basically, I was a towel supervisor.
I got you.
Like, oh, coach, that corner's not quite right. I mean, that was my job, really, right? I handed out water. And also, I would love to say I was a Rose Scholar. I wasn't. I got cut at the state level here in Louisville. I have sad feelings about that on the Rose Scholarship that year. But when Coach Fox, who has been an incredible, he's just been, I mean, find mentors, guys, man. If you have mentors, you'll be really blessed. But he was an incredible mentor to me. And he brought me, I thought, man, I played in the NBA. I won a national championship. I'm the stuff. I probably should be the head coach at the University of Georgia, but coach would bring me down and be my assistant, and then it turned out to be the assistant to the director of operations. But what he told me at the time is I was, getting up at 5 o'clock to go set up the tent for our tailgates before football games for recruits, right? That was my responsibility. He said, "Mark, here's the deal. You have a chance to go really, really fast in this profession. If you're going to be great when you get to the top, you have to know how to do everybody's job in your organization better than they do. And so you can't skip steps. So start here at the very, very, towel folding level, because it's going to do 2 things for you. One, you're going to know how the organization runs inside and out. That's really important as a leader. It's really important that you can do that. And 2, it's going to set you on a trajectory. We talked about momentum earlier. It's going to give you momentum, and that's going to be key. So I could bring you here and bring you in as an assistant, which would have satisfied my soul as an assistant coach, and it would have put me at this level. But instead, and my trajectory probably would have been a little bit flatter and take more time. Instead, he said, nope, I'm going to bring you in a position you're overqualified for so your trajectory can be like this. And I'm telling you, in our business decisions, in our personnel decisions, in our job opportunities that we accept to turn down, I really do believe we should chase trajectory more than we should chase level.
That's great. Thanks, Coach.
Hey, preach, brother. Preach, brother. That was great. That was awesome.
So, Coach Kelsey, as a high-profile leader, I know that you, just like Coach Pope and others, get asked to lend your names and your voices to other people's causes often. And my guess is that you decline more of those invitations than you accept. Yet one thing about your background particularly resonated with me, and I think with many people here in Louisville, that I wanted to ask you about. In 2012, following the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting where 26 students and teachers were killed, you spoke out against gun violence at a post-game press conference. No one asked you to do that. What, as a high-profile leader, what goes through your mind when you're making decisions about what other causes or issues or topics beyond basketball to speak out about, to get involved with, or to lend your leadership towards?
Yeah, it's hard to say yes to everything. I'm a sucker for passion. I'm a sucker for passion. Like Josh Hurd, our athletic director, who's a stud, by the way, right over here. You talk about leadership, like we had a head coaches meeting this morning, and in today's day and age of this crazy change, and we're with all these coaches with the head football coach, the head basketball coach, the lacrosse coach, and it's this uncertainty, right? And the way he stands up there and delivers his message and inspires, despite the uncertainty that coaches have about how this is going to go, how NIL is going to go, it's a great example of what leadership looks like. Dr. Schatzel, our president, she inspires me as a leader because she is so darn passionate. She meets students and employees where they're at. She's out on campus the other day. It's 92 degrees. She's helping students move in. She's sweating like crazy. She's at the pep rally the other day throwing out T-shirts. Passion. Guy named Brad Howard, Josh and I met with the other day. And his son, 4 months ago, committed suicide. And Brad was an employee at the University of Louisville several months ago and put a picture of his son, Jay, and put it up, and talking about this fundraiser that he asked Jeff Walls, the women's basketball coach, and me to be a part of. And he started telling the story of his son. And he couldn't do it. He just stopped, and he closed his eyes and starts crying. He just puts the picture down because he can't look at it any longer. And then he musters up the energy and the strength to tell us how, from this tragedy, there is going to be triumph. You got me, Brad. I'm in. I'm in. What can I do? The answer is yes. In 2012, we talk about being at the lowest level. I was a director of basketball operations as well, and your job was to have the Gatorades ice cold on the bus and the napkins folded the right way and all that stuff. Same thing. So it's funny. I love that trajectory thing too versus level. And I'm the head coach at Winthrop University, my first head coach. I don't know what the crap I'm doing. I just called my first time out like a week before. And we're in a traffic jam on I-65 going north, and one of my players comes up, and this is still relatively early in the social media craziness, and it was Gideon Gamble. I remember it like it was yesterday. He goes, "Coach, did you hear about the latest school shooting?" And like everybody, I just kind of went, and it's becoming more and more and more, and you get numb to it a little bit. So I was like, again? He goes, "Nah, Coach, man, it was kindergartners." And guess what? I had a kindergartner back in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and a preschooler. And just for a second, I put myself in those parents' shoes. And what I said that night was, I'm going to leave here and I'm going back to Rock Hill, and I'm going to walk into 2 pink rooms with 2 beautiful girls laying in those beds, and I'm going to give them the biggest hug and kiss that I've ever given them in my life. The greatest role and duty that I have in my life is to be a father to Ruthie, Caroline, and Johnny. And so, long story short, and I've gone too long already, I don't know, like, so we go up and we play Ohio University, and we stunk at the time. And OU was really good. They were coming off a Sweet 16. They had DJ Cooper, point guard. We beat them. And we stunk and beat them. So we're like, man, we're feeling good. We got some momentum. We go up to Ohio State, and we play awesome. We got them down at half. It's a game late. As you know, those officials gave us 0 calls down the stretch. So, like, I walked into a press conference afterwards like I'd never seen before, like I see now with cameras and all this stuff, because it's the Big Ten. It's the highest level. And something came over me. Like, I try to be about 3 things: my faith, my family, and who, right? My faith, my family, and my job, being the head coach at the University of Louisville. And I watched the interview later, and I was like, who is that? Because that wasn't me. And it was divine. It was the Lord speaking through me that day. And it got a lot of attention. And, 2 days later, I get a phone call from the sister of one of the moms that lost a child at Sandy Hook. Her name's Rebecca Kowalski. Her and Steve, her husband, are friends of mine to this day. And you said it was about gun control and stuff like that. It really wasn't. It was about, like, what the crap is going on? What's wrong with us? You know? And it was like, I just said, like, I'm not getting into the political thing right now. That's what I said. It wasn't about the mental health thing, which is a problem. It wasn't about the gun thing, which is a problem. It was like, come on, man. Like, let's all step the crap up and make a difference in the job, in the roles we have, whether it's a father, whether it's a coach, whether it's a priest, whatever it is, let's be better. And then by doing that, I just thought, my players moving forward can have an impact on people positively in their life, because hopefully I have a positive impact on their life. Friends with them to this day. I felt the passion in her voice when she called me, just days after her son was killed by machine gun fire in his kindergarten class. And it was a relationship that's special to me for the rest of her life. Little Chase is like a little brother to me. He actually looks like my son, Johnny. And it's just a reminder to me every day, count your blessings.
Well, thanks, Coach, for speaking up on that. And that's a great message about when leaders speak up. So for a final question, we've got to veer off the leadership topic very briefly. We're rapidly approaching basketball season and your new teams, and all of us in this crowd know how it's going to end. U of L versus UK in the NCAA championship game, April 7th, 2025, in the Alamo Dome.
I'll take it.
That's how it's going to end. But we've got a few months before both of your March Madnesses runs. So, Coach Pope, just give us a quick preview about what we can expect from your new team this year.
I'm incredibly excited. We have we talk about starting with people, and I think we have tremendous people. It's been we had an 8-week training camp this summer where we got together. We don't have a single player on our roster that's played at the University of Kentucky before, and we only have one player that's played for me before. And so we tried to squeeze a whole season into 8 weeks, and my guys responded brilliantly. And it was the things the things they learned on the court I was excited about, but their interactions off the court is what really has me inspired, where I see guys going out of their way to intentionally, as a verb, love each other and lift each other and care about each other. And I'm also watching my guys learn very quickly what this great state is and what it means to have a chance to wear Kentucky across their chest. They're learning quickly, and it's a brilliant thing. And that's something that we share, all of us share together. Louisville, Lexington, everyone in the state, we share that together about trying to grow this place and make it better. My guys understand that. And so on that backdrop, we work on a baseline of gratitude, which we practice every single day, and humility, which we reaffirm every single day. And on that backdrop, you notice I haven't said anything about basketball yet, because that's like 6 on the list in terms of being successful. On that backdrop, we're incredibly, incredibly excited about this coming season.
Thank you, Coach Pope. Coach Kelsey, what can us Cards fans expect?
Well, obviously with the rivalry, I've paid very close attention to what Mark's done and what he's built. He's underselling it. He's like Noah's Ark. He's got 2 of everything. I agree. I mean, so much about what it's so funny how similar leadership is, how similar, and really the position that we're in. We're coming in here fresh. He built basically an entirely new roster, as did I, and that 8 weeks was as much about winning the minds and hearts, all the culture stuff that he just talked about. Exactly. We say relentless effort, competitive excellence, and the power of the unit. He said the same thing, just not that way. They're working hard. They're going really hard, right? Competitive excellence. They're how important every repetition is. And then the power of the unit is what he talked about, the uncommon commitment to the guy next to you, which is based on the most powerful force in the universe is love, loving your teammates. We say all the time, and everybody wants, how many games are you going to win? Like, you're going to win the national championship, all that. Like, I get it. Like, you have to win every game here. I got it. But, Jay Wright, who's a friend of Josh Hurd's, who I've gotten to know a little bit since becoming his head coach, he used to say all the time, even those great teams he had at Villanova, when they were coming off a national championship, and they said, well, what's your goal, to repeat? He said, no, it's to have the best culture in the country. And Mark's working his butt off to have that as well. It's not easy. In this new day and age, it's different. Collegiate athletics is different than it's ever been before. Obviously, NIL, which creates a whole new thing. So, the teams that can be the most cohesive, that can love each other, that can sacrifice, those are the truths of winning. Whether you're at the professional level of football in the NFL, Major League Baseball, collegiate basketball, that's a big part of building a winner.
Well, Coach Kelsey,
and by the way, I think we're gonna be good.
Okay, good.
I really like that team. Sorry.
Which Coach Kelsey and Coach Pope, thank you all so much. I know I speak for everyone here, everyone in the entire state. We are thrilled that both of you all are in these new leadership positions. We're thrilled. I know the entire city of Louisville is working closely with the University of Louisville. We're working closely with the University of Kentucky on so many different areas beyond athletics. You all are a great addition to their leadership teams. We're thrilled to have you. Leadership Louisville team, please join me in thanking Coach Kelsey and Coach Pope for joining us. But wait, there's more. Because there is one more head coach in the crowd today that I want to introduce. And that is the head coach of Team Kentucky, our amazing governor. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Governor Andy Beshear.
Oh my goodness. First, a huge thank you to the coach for the city of Louisville, an incredible mayor who is bringing incredible energy to this city. Somebody I've worked with for the last 10 years, Craig Greenberg. Thank you to Cynthia and her entire team at Leadership Louisville. I want to thank my good friend and board chair, Greg Pope. Many of you might not know this. Greg's one of my closest friends in the world. We've watched our kids grow up together. They went to elementary school together. Every election night, Greg has sat there with me and sweated it out. We went 3-0 together. But I was thank you. But unfortunately, I did not call him during the Veep Stakes. But I am blessed and honored to say that I'm going to be proud to be your governor for the next 3.5 years. I'm a huge fan sitting here listening to all this. And I was taking notes for leadership too. I mean, I think about Coach Pope and his positivity. I got to have Coach Pope in my office not too long ago, and I said, man, you now have to coach and you have to deal with all the other things. And he looked and he corrected me. He said, I get that opportunity. His positivity is inspiring. And man, Coach Kelsey's energy. It has been amazing to see. And today, I think we also, especially in the answer on Sandy Hook, heard his empathy. Empathy is your ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, even if you haven't gone through what they've been through. It is sorely missing in political leadership right now, but we need it in leadership at all levels throughout this country. I love seeing these two coaches up here. I just want to take one moment to remind everyone we have two amazing coaches of our women's team in Jeff Walls and Kenny Brooks. They're also going to do a great job. Yeah, I remember one of the first questions I was asked as governor, one of the things that it comes with is good basketball tickets. And I remember one of the first games that once I became governor was UK and U of L. And so I'm walking in, that year it's in Rupp. Rex Chapman grabs me and says, Andy, put on the headphones. And it was Rex. I should have said no. And he said, all right, the question everybody's been wondering, are you UK or are you a U of L fan? And I took a breath. I may have had a little divine intervention and help. And I said, Rex, as governor, you have two jobs. Number one, to support your in-state schools. And number two, to root against Duke. Kentucky is at its strongest when we have a strong UK and U of L, and that starts academically and in research. I think about the impact that it has on all of our lives, about how the Marquis Cancer Center saved my dad's life when I was 17 years old, and he later went on to become governor, but more than that, is a great dad and a wonderful granddad to my and Brittany's children. I think about the Speed School and the amazing work it's being done, the expansion that it's happening, and how it and the other engineering programs are ushering in new jobs, the likes of which we have never seen before. And I believe we're the strongest when we have two great athletic programs that drive the viewership, that make more people look at UK and U of L, and I think we've got two coaches that are going to make us really proud for years to come. It is an exciting time in Kentucky. It is a time where we are achieving at a level we have never seen before, and I am proud that I'm going to be a part of that for the next 3.5 years. Now, these coaches might not know this, but the last time UK won a national championship, there was a Governor Bashir. And the last time U of L won a national championship, because it happened, there was a Governor Bashir. So guys, we got 3.5 years. Let's make sure we get this done at both universities. But I want to close by saying I look around this room, and the secret to our success in Kentucky is right here and across the Commonwealth. I mean, think about what we've done. We are on an economic development roll, the likes of which the Commonwealth has never seen. We've broken every record for private sector investment, for new jobs, for the best 2-year average in wages, for exports, for tourism. We have record low recidivism. You want to talk about a great statistic? We're one of only only one of a couple states in the country where drug overdose deaths have gone down 2 years in a row. Let's thank everybody who works on. But as they're talking about leadership up here, none of us do that on their own, and I certainly don't as governor. And it's not always just people in government. When we look at that new business that's coming in, oftentimes it's people in this room. John Crockett, you have done a great job in helping us recruit business. Thank you. It's coming into town and seeing leaders and future leaders that people see can help lead their business. Sometimes it's just people smiling at somebody that's walking down the street in their town, wondering what it's like to move their business there or to move their families there. What you have done these past 4.5+ years has been incredible. I mean, think about the way people are looking at Kentucky now. We used to be viewed as a flyover state. I'm here to tell you that will never, ever happen again. We are the destination. We talk a lot right now about building a new Kentucky home, one where anything is possible, one where we are picked over and over, one where companies call us first, companies that used to claim they didn't even have our number. This is our time. And a special time, one where we have more potential than I've ever seen before, and we don't know how long this window of opportunity is going to be open. So we can't trip ourselves up. We can't worry about Democrat or Republican. We can't worry about the other things that we may argue about. This is our best chance to give our kids and our grandkids more opportunity and a better future than at any time I've ever seen. So our job is to run as fast as we can, as hard as we can, forward, not right, not left, but forward over these next 3.5 years. So thank you for having me tonight. And you all might know that we got two, great leaders up here. And there's this honor we have in Kentucky for our great leaders. It is the highest title that a governor can bestow on a citizen in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. It's called a Kentucky Colonel. To tell you how big of a title that is, I made Dolly Parton a Kentucky Colonel yesterday afternoon. And now, Coach Pope came to my office and visited with me about a month and a half ago. He became a Kentucky Colonel then. But I think Coach Kelsey ought to become a Kentucky Colonel today. Now, I am smart enough to understand optics. So I've also reprinted Coach Pope's Kentucky Colonel. And today we are going to present them both and name us our two newest Kentucky Colonels in the Commonwealth.
Thank you all so very much for being with us at the Leadership Louisville Center. We're excited for what our community holds, and we know that we get more done when we come together. So until you can come together again next time at the Leadership Louisville Center, go out and be better and do better. Thank you.
Somebody save your soul, 'cause you've been sinning in the city. I know too many troubles, all these lovers got you losing control. You like a drug to me, a luxury, my sugar and gold. I want the good life every good night, you're a hot one to hold. 'Cause you don't even know